Okay, one sec here. Let's figure out what's going on. There we go. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Got that. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Sentient Cloud, and we're going to continue working on this. I did make some adjustments here. I wasn't really very happy with some of the stuff that like was going on with like the components and the systems, and so I am going to do this. Um, so I guess I'll just have to kind of figure it out as I go, see how that works out. If it doesn't, then obviously I'll have to make some adjustments. Anyway, all right, cool. Um, I think I want to actually replace this with a vector. I think that would work better, but well, for now we'll leave it. I'll worry about that later. It's just there's 5,000 entities, and let's see, that's going to give me something on the order of. Yeah, my head ain't mathing. Hold on. Times, let's say we've got something that's just okay. So that's like 40 kilobytes. Not the end of the world. I think I'll be okay. Uh, all right. And what I did here instead of the sort of mapping thing where there was an array of various types of components, and those components were accessed via their string representation of the type. Didn't really like that. It felt really weird. And so what I am doing instead is I'm just going to have each of these uh, like this, and then uh, you know have a type specializ or excuse me, a template specialization to access each one depending on what components they're trying to access. Because I don't suspect that I'm going to have to have a like people be able to add components at runtime, right? Like what I'm probably going to end up doing with this is just like there will be a set of components that I will define ahead of time, and then those will all be handled all at compile time, so it doesn't really matter if they're accessible that way. Okay. There's still a few more. Hold on, let me open this up. There's a few more functions that I need to create here. So I need to be able to have add component. So do and I might take this stuff and put it all into the game itself, like the game structure. Because most of the stuff I'm really doing here isn't too terribly complex. And I feel like this is the kind of stuff that can really go into the main game loop. All right. And this needs to be a template. Template. T. So it's going to be a call to the component manager. And then I need a signature. Okay, I'm going to need to have a get component type function for the component manager. So hold on. Manager. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Late name T. we want to return component type. That's, yeah, it doesn't need to have anything there. So what this is going to do, if I ever am trying to access a component for which there isn't a specialization, I want it to cause the compilation to crash, which is why I'm using the static assert here. Template component type. This is going to go here. Transform. I guess we'll just say that's going to return, was it 0, I think? I think 0 is the correct one. One thing that would be kind of nice that I don't know if this is something that you can do in C++ now. Don't know if you can do switches at compile time. Let's see if you can do that. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. I guess it's not like a huge deal that it doesn't have a constant expression variation of that. I could just use an if statement, it looks like. Now the question is, can we... Let's see. Okay, I'm not finding any confirmation that I can actually do that. there's one way to find out. Let's go ahead. So I'm just going to go here. If t equals transform, and let's make sure this is a const expression. New type of, actually, yeah. Does C++ support type of? Hold on. Okay, so I can do, looks like I can do type ID, 0, and then else static assert, and we'll just go and just copy paste this down. Okay, so now I think I can actually get rid of that, and that might make things a bit simpler. Okay. Oops. So we'll do get component type of t. I think that's everything I need for that. So add component. No, not quite. Just make sure that that's set. Okay, and then entity manager, set signature, just have it do entity signature. Okay. Then system manager, entity signature changed. I'm going to go ahead and really quickly go over to system, because I changed the name there, and I think it's probably wise for me to stick with a similar naming convention as the one that they have. Okay. Cool, so there's that, and then I'll do that's going to move component This could actually be... Hmm. I think this could actually be a constant time thing. I don't know. I'll worry about that later. Okay. Keep going. Getting sidetracked. Okay. Component manager. Get component type. I really need to switch out this the completion framework that I'm using, because I think part of the reason why I'm running into these weird visual bugs with NeoVim is I'm using something that's a bit new and not terribly doesn't seem to be perfect. Let's say that much. Okay. Entity manager, set signature, get. Cool. Same thing here. Okay. Cool. So there's that, and then wait. Get component. Do I have a get component? I do not. Okay. Go ahead and add one. So okay. So here, let's see. It is entirely possible, I think, that I could ask for a component that simply doesn't exist. So I don't want to. Hold on. Component. Hold on a sec here. Yeah, okay, so that's going to assert that. So I don't need to be too careful about the checking because that's going to get handled elsewhere. Okay. Get component. We'll do if constant expression type ID transform. I'll just make sure to dot get data entity. Go. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Good there. Okay, register system. Once again, not totally sure that I need to... Like, systems are probably also going to be defined at compile time. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, got component type. Let's go check. Okay. Okay, so for now, those two exist, so we'll just work with those until find a better way to do this. Okay. That's a little weird. Like this whole coordinator thing is a little weird. I'm feels kind of weird to have basically it's not really doing much, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's kind of doing some stuff here like these, but a bit leery about this. Anyway, okay. System manager. Let's go ahead. Like I said, I am following another guy's code on this, so I'm just kind of figuring out roughly how this kind of stuff works, and then making minor modifications where I feel like I should. So, not exactly doing original stuff. Okay. Let's see. Hold on now. Let's do. I don't know why that's done as a. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so let's just start with. Okay, so. Truly riveting. Watching literally nothing happen. Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna need. So I can already see a couple areas where I can improve this a little bit. So the way that the guy here is doing it, if you, I think I linked it last time, but there's a blog post by the guy called Austin Moreland that I'm following and just kind of trying to read and understand exactly what's going on here. So a couple of things that I have noticed. First and foremost, this add component function here should probably be something more along the lines of add components, where I can basically just supply a list of different types of components with their values. And that way, I can just do all of them at once. Because as it stands, what he's got here is basically a single function, and then he takes the entity, he adds in like a transform component and a rigid body component and some other stuff here, right? And that, I think it would be better if I could do it all at once. So that's definitely something to look to improve. Okay, what else? I need to... All right, I need to do some kind of... I need to make some kind of system. So what I think I'll start with is actually a script manager. I think that would be a good... Well, actually, no, because that's gonna take a lot of work to set up. Okay, let's pick something a little bit less difficult. We could set up like a debug system that just displays all the information about all the current entities. Well, not all the current entities, but like okay, there's just kind of floundering here. What should I do? What should I do? All right. Well, I'm gonna need to fix. I'm gonna need to design a physics system. So, let's do. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Let me go ahead, because I'm gonna need a physics thing for all of the. Physics.hpp. I'm going to need a physics system for when the balls bounce around in this Pong game. So need that, and then like I've got other plans for this system, this game engine sort of thing. So definitely going to need more. Oh, not physic. Although that is interesting. It's interesting. It's called physics rather than physic. Suspect it's for a similar reason that the British call it maths instead of math. Do that. Okay, so we want space. Now this is physics is something that's typically also sent to the GPU. Or often, I don't know if it's necessarily a standard thing, but it's often sent to the GPU because it's a lot of math. So it's not too terribly. Okay. So I think I need to have the system inherit from the system class. So let's go here, ECS/system. This is going to public system. Okay, and then we need to have an update function. Update. And we'll do F60. Yeah, F64 delta, which is just delta time. This goes into, should go into a source file in this case. All right, is there anything else that I need? I think so. I think that's everything I need there. So now I just need to go and let's go. CPP. Again, this is something I'll probably end up putting into something that will kind of load stuff onto the GPU and use some kind of compute shader. But for now, 3. Eight. Okay. And then okay, so we need to get in this case we're just looking at the transform. So transform equals interesting. So the coordinator appears to be a global thing. Interesting. Not totally sure how I feel about that. Let's go ahead. Hold on. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Crap. Lost that entire thing. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So or not register, excuse me. Get component. This is going to grab transform entity. Yep. And here, I just want to know what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Say just want X, Y, and Z. So we'll do transform position X, transform position Y, transform position dot Z. So that should be good. Okay. Now I need to include, let's see, component. Actually, that's already going to be included with the coordinator. So let's go. So this is going to take system. I think I can actually just hold on. Let me think here. Okay. don't think I need to include both coordinator and systems. We'll just do this. Okay. This is going to that, and then here, I'm just going to go ahead and do reference. And that can just, I think that can be private. I don't think it needs to know. So here, what's wrong? Go. Okay. So now, when I initialize the physics system, I'm just going to have to give it a reference to the coordinator. That's actually, so now I'm kind of curious. Yeah, okay. So we should be good there. I'm just going to go to this and need to include print. Good, 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 good. Okay. Transform, so it's getting that component. Now, normally, if we're talking about like a physics system, this should be doing things like taking in like the velocity and the acceleration and all sorts of stuff like that. For the moment, I'm just going to leave it as this. Okay. So let's see if we can actually hook this in without things going absolutely nuts. Okay, here we go. I probably am going to need to have the event manager taking part in this, but for now, I'm just going to go this here. And physics system. Okay, so init. So hold on. So coordinator is going to need to be reinitialized. So once I've got this, make sure the coordinator is initialized. Okay. So I'm just going to go here, and the system is going to update. And delta T, for now, we're just going to give it 1 because it doesn't actually change anything just yet. Or 0.1, excuse me. Okay, let me grab. Need to add in some things. So, okay. Do coordinator. Register system. Yeah, this feels really strange. I It feels okay. I'm very, very torn here. I'm kind of confused. Because it feels like the coordinator basically does, practically speaking, nothing. In a sense, like, basically, this is the kind of situation where I feel like I can just have everything kind of hooked in together. Right? Like, I could say, oh, well, I want, I don't know, what would be an example? Um, hmm, like I could just make everything that I want go into it and not kind of leave it all generic. Okay. Hmm. Because as it stands, things are quite generic here, and I don't think they need to be. It's like, for example, um, let's go to, hold on, six. There we go. Oh, no, I didn't want to go there. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so like for example, I feel like it would make way more sense to have the system just have references to all the various component arrays that it needs. So like, or like to the component manager itself. I mean, I guess the coordinator kind of does that. In that case, what okay, so this gets registered. So then what I'll do, hold on, we'll do it this way. Hold on. Let's do physics system. And this is going to require a coordinator as a field, because it is. Actually, hold on. Coordinator. And then this will call update like this. Hold on. Jeez, I keep forgetting. Okay, let's do this, and that does no longer needs this. Okay. Okay, so here, getting this, and that should be a smart pointer. At least for now. every system is going to have a reference to the coordinator. So what we'll do, go to the top. So it's going to have that, and then it's going to have a reference to the coordinator. I suppose if I just live with the fact that I'm going to be using a global, I really don't like that idea. So what does register system actually do? Okay. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to end this early because frankly, I'm starting to, this whole thing is starting to fall under the weight of my lack of understanding. So I'm going to have to do a little research and just kind of thinking through this, trying to figure this out. As it is, like, I just keep feeling like I just don't understand a thing about this. This is one of the costs of trying to basically copy code. Okay, well, had a fun little bit of an experience there. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here and pick this up hopefully tomorrow. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed or at least found it interesting. And yeah, I'll see you again later.